come.
No, I won't. I won't come. Mama! Papa! Ah!
Good evening. The story you're about to witness is one of romance, tragedy, criminal murder, and the urge for revenge. What a better way to spend an evening together. From the beginning, it was an odyssey of deception and trickery. One moment, I could see the light, like the beam of a train engine hurtling past. The next, all was darkness, and the thread that I pulled between my fingers led to nothing. I believe it was the greatest case of my career, but who am I to say? Modesty forbids it. It was certainly the most difficult case of my career, as it made me question the very most deepest values that I have held since I was a young man. It began in the exotic city of Istanbul, where I planned a vacation there for several days following a trying case that was on my nerves. But things began to change as soon as I set foot in the Tocatlian Hotel, where the enormity of the prices was only matched by the ego of the waiters. My name, incidentally, is Hercule Poirot, greatest detective in the world.
Hey, you're Count Andreni. I saw you dance at Monte Cristo. Could I take a picture? Not my face!
Come, my darling.
Apologies, my dear.
This way, sir. I have a beautiful table that I'm sure you will enjoy. It is your first time in Istanbul?
Oh, that is correct. How did you know?
I have my ways, sir. My little observations. In this business, one must be a detective, like that famous Poirot fellow from France.
I believe he's Belgian.
No, from France. I know him personally. Enjoy.
Mary, there you are.
James, at last. Where have you been?
Oh, not late, am I?
Of course you are. You're always late. I was terrified I missed the train. It would ruin everything.
Oh, come on. I was just exploring a bit. I've never been to Istanbul before, and I quite adore all this Eastern nonsense.
Okay, well, I don't. I just want to leave right now and get it over with.
I wish you were all on this. You deserve better, you know.
No one should see us like this. Not till it's all over. Besides, I think we're being watched by that funny little man over there.
What, him? Oh, he's just some foreigner who probably doesn't even speak English.
Well, shall we order for starving?
Not here. I found this cute little place around the corner where I'm sure the food will be 10 times better.
Okay, well, we can't be late. We can't miss the train.
We won't be late, I promise. Now stop fussing and let's go.
Excuse me, waitress. Yes, you did a very nice job, and I'm leaving you something extra because of it. Thank you, Mom. Excuse me, young man. Are you American?
Yes, I am.
I thought so. I can see from your passport. Us Americans have to stick together, you know, especially in a place like this. I can't even pronounce half the things on the menu. And what's a falafel? I keep seeing them in the streets, and they look like you could play hockey with one of them.
I believe they're made of fried chickpeas.
Oh, well, there you go. Who knew? Some people will fry anything. By the way, I don't mean to snoop, but I see your train ticket sitting out there on the table, and I was wondering, do you know if they're providing the bus to the station?
I don't think so. I believe the train has a private car.
Well, don't you worry. I'll ask and find out. As the Bible says, if Moses doesn't know the answer, ask the concierge. No, I think I better go. I'm bothering that other man over there with the silly mustache. And I don't think it's real.
I hope the food at this humble establishment is up to your usual standards.
Oh? What? It is Monsieur Book!
My friend!
Oh, what are you doing in Eastern, mon ami?
What am I doing here? This is my city. I live here.
Oh, but of course, I am a fool.
I run Wagnet, the greatest train company in the entire world. The central office of this hotel. Please, charge my office. This meal is on me.
Oh, no. Please, do not make me.
Now tell me, what are you doing in town? Solving a crime, eh?
Oh, no. I did that last week in Syria. Oh, I will show you. It was a bad affair. Oh. A guilty army officer. A missing check. A beautiful woman. The man was guilty. That was certain. But perhaps I pressed the man too hard, and he... The police say I was too harsh, but I believe I did nothing wrong.
Of course you did nothing wrong. When you break the law, you must pay the price. At least, that's what you have told me.
It is what I live by.
Now tell me, you're staying here at this hotel?
Well, I was hoping to, eh? But not an hour ago, I received a telegram from Scotland Yard saying that I had to be in London in 3 days to take on another case. So, tonight, I was hoping to take a ride on your famous Orient Express.
That would be no problem. And the best news is, I will be going with you, for I go to Lausanne tonight on business.
Ha magnifique!
Pardon me, sir, but the manager said to tell you that there are no more tickets available for the Express tonight.
That is incredible. It is my train, and it is never sold out at this time of year. That is ridiculous.
Perhaps a party or convention?
Tell the manager to find a berth for Monsieur Perrault. He is my personal friend.
But, sir...
The number 7 is always held in reserve. Now go tell him.
Yes, sir.
Merci, mon ami.
Please. Now you see this menu? Throw it away. For tonight, we will sit on the train, just like old times, and dine like kings.
Now that sounds promising. But the food on the train, it is edible? Unlike the crumpets in Israel? Do you remember those snippets?
Monsieur Perrault, you stabbed me in the heart. I'm riding on the ground at your feet. It is not a mere train that will carry you tonight. It is a legend. It runs like no other vehicle on earth. The fittings are from Paris, the paneling, Venice, the plates are from Rome, and the taps from New York. The best food, the best beds, the best pillows, the best feathers inside the pillows. It is poetry on wheels, and Lord Byron could not have written any better himself. Now, Monsieur, prepare yourself, for in 1 hour, I will meet you on the platform of the Orient Express.
Mademoiselle, are you not married? Such a God for my goodness in heaven.
You must be the sausage.
Jacques Breton, I'm a missionary and I work in Africa with little babies.
You had been from Pastor Falls? Miss Mary Deborah.
Oh, I'm Miss Deborah.
Lovely to see you. You're to be in compartment 4 of Miss Wilson, yeah?
I will do my very best not to disturb you. She'll get to all just fine.
Good God! Would you please put those suitcases down? They're driving me mad.
Oh, no, princess. Do not have them, sir. They are not so big. Are they not? Are you sure?
They are extremely cute.
Mrs. Drachenhoff, how lovely to see you. May I help you with your bag, madam?
Oh, no, it is fine. I can manage.
Hildegard, you're such a pain. Hitting me, This is Hildegard Schmidt.
Yes, I remember. You're in compartment 11 as usual, but where are your doggies today?
They are not feeling well. They will not be on the trip this time, passing by servants.
I brushed on as this morning so you could say goodbye.
Niet! You tortured my darling doggy.
Actor! Here, sir. Here. Right here.
Keep the luggage on board. Yes, sir, I did. And I checked for any mail that might have arrived overnight. That came in, apparently. Unbelievable. I know, it's awful. I mean, just look at this. Prepared to die?
Keep your voice down.
You should call the police.
It's none of their business.
But these are dangerous. This is the third one you've had this week. It's a good thing you have a gun.
I said keep your voice down. Excuse me, monsieur. Can you direct me to compartment number 7, please?
Compartment 7, monsieur? I believe there must be a mistake.
Yeah, let us hope not. I must get to London in 3 days. My name is Hercule Poirot. Maybe it is a name.
Hercule Poirot, the detective?
Yes, yeah.
What do you know?
Hercules Poirot. I heard you famous. It is Hercule, monsieur. Merci.
The name's Ratchet, Samuel Ratchet. Import-export. I'm out of business for you.
I'm afraid I'm on vacation, monsieur.
We'll take the job in the press, eh?
You're in compartment 2, Ratchet.
I know where I'm going. Thank you. We'll discuss this inside.
Monsieur Poirot, you beat me to the game. You have met Michel. He is from Paris, and he's the best conductor in the company.
Thank you, monsieur, but we have an issue. Your friend says he has compartment 7, but it is taken. Indeed, the entire first-class coach is full.
That is incredible.
No, monsieur, the entire world likes to travel tonight.
You will put him in number 1. It is my personal compartment. I will find one in one of the other carriages.
I cannot do that to you.
Please. Michel, you will make the arrangements.
I am in your debt.
Now tell me, have all the passengers checked in yet?
We are waiting for a Mrs. Hubbard and the Count and Countess Andrine.
Ah, the Countess. One of the greatest beauties in Europe, I hear. Hungarian, I believe, a commoner, who went to school and became a doctor, and married a countess to become royalty.
I see her coming.
Why, it is the Count and Countess Andrine. I am Constantine, Duke of the Wagonlet.
I am delighted to see you.
Your reputation precedes you, madame. Your Excellency, may I introduce to you my friend, Monsieur Hercule Poirot, your famous detective.
This has been wonderful. I have read about you in the papers, monsieur, and I admire you greatly.
On jeden Ketves.
Das Ibizog.
And Gion Oden.
You speak Hungarian beautifully.
Not as well as you speak English, madame.
May I help you with your bag, madame?
No, it is nothing at all.
Surely your wonderful husband can manage it for you.
Of course I can. We are visiting the Countess Elena's mother on this voyage.
Alas, he does not like her.
Not many do.
Monsieur Poirot, I look forward to hearing about your wonderful adventures.
Monsieur Poirot.
They are exquisite.
They're ballroom dancers, mon ami. Of course they are.
Is this the
that Orient Express I keep hearing about? It doesn't look that impressive. At least not from here.
You must be Mrs. Hubbard?
Yes, this is Helen, Caroline, Peabody, Wolfson, Van Pelt, Hubbard, if you please, from the beautiful Garden State of Minnesota. Mr. Peabody, my first husband, was a very good soul, but the poor man had no talent for longevity. And I shouldn't say poor because he did very nicely for himself, thank you very much. My next husband was Mr. Peabody, who I loved rather dearly, but he loved a lot of women. So I traded him up and got a Van Pelt. But I caught him with that redhead from the Waldorf. Then I at last found my Mr. Hubbard, and I call him my little white knight, who saved me from the life of bridge games and watery cocktails at the Minneapolis Country Club.
And is Mr. Hubbard joining you?
No, Mr. Hubbard is not joining me. Mr. Hubbard and I have traveled together before, and he says that it raises his blood pressure. I don't know why. So now I do it for the both of us. Do you like to travel?
I travel every day, madame.
Then you and I should exchange notes sometime.
Apartment suite.
Is that mine or yours?
Yours, madame?
I hope it's comfy.
I've never had a complaint, madame.
Sure you don't.
Well, she was quite the character.
They're all characters. If I was Balzac, I could write a novel about all of them.
And just think, for 3 days, mon ami, these strangers put them to the same roof, eating and sleeping together.
And at the end they part, never to see each other again.
Unless.
Unless what?
Unless something fatal occurs.
Monsieur Poirot, why would you ever say such a thing?
Yeah, you must forgive me. It is my business. But I sense something is strange. There's someone who does not fit in. It makes me frightened. I'm sorry.
Now, monsieur, no more business, please. You must now succumb to nothing but pleasure, and prepare yourself. Step aboard the Pride of My Company wagonlet, the most memorable journey of your entire life.
Welcome aboard the Orient Express. This way, ladies and gentlemen, to your compartments.
Compliments of the Orient Express.
Thank you.
I'm here for all of your needs.
No, thank you. I do not drink.
It does not agree with you.
Sin does not agree with me? Vice with the Double Fine Starlings.
We should no longer speak.
It's the bee's knees. Maybe I'll just move in for good.
This way, madame, and watch your step.
Holy cow! Is it snowing out there?
I'm afraid we get a lot of snow around this time of year. Last year, we were stuck in the snow for 7 days.
7 days? Was there food on board?
There is always
Oh, well, now I can breathe again. My first husband always said I was unbearable on an empty stomach. My second husband said I was unbearable even when I had a full stomach. Men, am I right? And as they say in the movies, lead on, Macduff.
Hey.
Hildegard, you must keep up. Keep up. We have to get settled in before the plane starts moving.
I have to confess to you, princess, that I am not liking trains since I am a little girl. They are feeling very tight to me, like clothing that is made on size and is squeezing my bosom. Oh, may God forgive me.
Don't be silly. Trains are wonderful.
But I am also not liking these strangers in the trickety-trackety. But we will be seeing that yeah? That part is good. Once I'm on a train and there's crying and noise and animals and all, and I was reading my book and I look up from my book and sitting there next to me, right on the seat, is a very old goat. Ha! It's true, old goat. She is like my companion. And trips are we are taking together right now, I think it will not be so different, yeah? Okay, let's go!
Oh, Mr. Perot, slow up. I'd like to discuss that business proposition I mentioned.
I'm afraid now is not a good time, monsieur.
Oh, sure it is. Sit down. Quick. Promise.
Monsieur, really, I do not have the time.
Sit down.
Eh bien. Proceed.
Now, how would you take on a job for me?
I take on very few new patients, monsieur.
You take on this one, I guarantee it.
And what makes you think that?
Because I'm talking big money here, Mr. Perot. I have an enemy.
I would assume you have many enemies, Monsieur Ratchet.
What's that supposed to mean?
How do I put this? You are successful, n'est-ce pas? Successful people have many enemies. Just look at me.
Right. That's it exactly. You see, I've been getting some threatening letters here lately. I want an extra pair of eyes for some snooping around. Of course, I can take care of myself.
Monsieur Ratchet, please do not point the gun at me.
Alrighty then. That's 5,000 sound.
None.
10. A few days' work.
Monsieur Ratchet, I am very fortunate in my career, and I only take such cases that interest me. And frankly, you do not interest me.
You want to grovel? Is that it?
I want nothing, monsieur, other than to leave.
Pardon me.
Hey, that campus sergeant.
That is correct.
Well, rough and pretty. From what I hear, you were commoner to start out with, just like the rest of us.
That is also correct.
So, do you have a drink with me?
I am married, monsieur, and my husband is having business elsewhere. Please excuse me.
Not so fast.
Move out of the way now.
Easy, sweetheart. You don't get all high-minded about it.
If you do not move this instant, I will scream.
Hold on a second. See, I'm gonna attach your cousin for a moment. We're on trains. You know this kind of something.
What do you think you are doing?
Just talking, Your Worship. You managed to see.
That's not what it looked like. I know your type. You're a villain, a gangster. I have to kill you right where you stand. You what?
Now, darling. It's all right. I'm fine. Let's just go to her. Stay away from me.
I'm watching you, American.
Oh, Mr. Ratchet, I've been looking for you. I put your cup of coffee next to your bed, and if you don't need anything else for the rest of the night, I thought I'd just
shut up, Hector! Shut up!
Ah, my friends, I hope that we're settling in all right and enjoying ourselves. In fact, it shouldn't be long now until... Not long at all. Our journey has begun, and I wish you both good luck and Godspeed.
Hello? Hello?
Oui, madame. What is it?
Michelle, could you bring me an iced tea with some sugar? The top water's terrible.
Right away, madame.
And how about some nibbles? munchies, yummies, something to snack on while I drink my tea.
You mean like crickets?
Yeah, like crisps. Except in the Midwest we call them nibbles. Have you ever nibbled on anything, Michelle?
I have not had that pleasure, madame.
Will you bring me those crisps and I'll give you a lesson?
You don't do so bad to yourself, kid.
Come on here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on here, it's the best band in the land. They can play the bugle call like you never heard before, so natural that you want to go for. The bestest band, what a band. Oh, honey, man. Come on.
Keep it down in there!
Shut up! Who asked you?
It's the middle of the night.
Pardon, monsieur. What is it?
Tell that ridiculous woman in there to keep it down. It's time for bed.
Ridiculous woman! I heard that!
The lady wants to sing a little song, monsieur.
It's 12 o'clock at night.
Now listen you, just mind your own business.
Stand at it's my compartment.
If I want to enjoy myself, I'm gonna do it. So just pipe down.
You're insane. Get out!
What are you? A pup? Are you in the mafia? Are you dangerous, Michelle? I think he's a... It's a gun! Michelle, he's got a gun!
It's not against the law.
I said, get out!
You must be crazy.
Get out! Frenchie.
Charleston, made in Carolina.
Hey there, Mr. Houston, I hope you don't have any trouble with this one and be un-American.
Sundance, there's nothing finer.
It's going to be a long night.
She will bring me. It is all over.
Someone should shoot her and put her out of her misery.
Orient Express to Belgrade Station. Orient Express to Belgrade Station. Emergency call 867. I repeat, code blue. Come in, we have an emergency. We are heading into the mountains and the snow is getting heavier by the minute. Prepare your rescue crews and equipment in case of stoppage. Belgrade? Belgrade!
James, where have you been? Thought you was coming.
What's the matter? I got your note.
I'll tell you what the matter is. I'm frightened because we shouldn't be doing this.
Now calm
I
down.
can't calm down. We have to stop this.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it isn't, and that's the trouble with you military men. You never show any real emotion. It's all stiff upper lip no matter what's going on.
Barry, we're doing nothing wrong. You have to remember that.
Oh, I really am.
You know? Listen here. Hear my help. I'd sit for hours watching those trains go by the valley below. I knew they were going to exotic locales, and I always wanted to climb aboard the worst way.
But you didn't.
No, I suppose I knew somehow it would break my mother's heart.
You're a very good man.
She was a very good woman.
You know what the worst of it is, Paul's traveling and doing? Your hardly gets any courtesy. It's just so mad at him.
Well, I don't see anyone around at the moment. Do you?
I suppose I don't.
Hi. Hope I'm not interrupted.
Of course you're interrupting, you moron. Are you blind?
I'm sorry.
Oh no. The train has stopped.
What is it?
The snow. Look.
Oh, not now.
It's a snowdrift.
That's all we need.
Should I go take a look?
What good will that do?
James, he's right. Let him go.
Harry.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. McQueen. We'll be waiting here for you.
Of course. I'll
be right back. What did you send him off like that for?
Oh?
What is it?
There was a man in my room. He ran off, I'm sure of it.
Which way did he go?
That way, just a second.
But, madam, that is where I am coming from. And I saw no one.
Well, maybe he ducked into one of the compartments or something. I don't know. The time I was lying here, in bed, dead to the world, I opened my eyes. I see this man going out the door.
But where
he
was
was wearing a uniform.
But where would he come from?
I don't know. He just suddenly appeared.
What did he look like?
I don't know. I could barely see him. 1 second he was there, and then he was gone. He was like a phantom.
How is this possible?
How should I know?
Perhaps you were dreaming?
I wasn't dreaming. Trust me. I know when I'm dreaming. My mouth gets all dry. Does my mouth look dry to you?
No. And you're sure your door was locked?
Of course my door was locked. People have keys, don't they? I bet you have a key. Don't you run the company?
No, madam. I own the company. I will look into it for you.
Okay, well, hurry up. I don't feel safe.
She is keeping you busy, Mrs. Hubbard.
You have no idea. She insisted there was some man inside of her compartment.
Misha, perhaps?
No, it's with the engineering department.
Now what? I can't, we are not moving.
You are telling me?
There's a snowdrift.
We are stuck until men are sent from Belgrade to dig us out.
Oh no,
Oh no, I am sorry, my friend, but I promise you will be completely comfortable for as long as it takes.
Phil! Have you tracked him down yet?
Not yet, madam.
Well, keep trying.
Get a good night's rest, my friend, because that will make one of us.
And hurry up about it.
I wonder.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
The train is still not moving. Are you doing something about it?
Of course I'm doing something. I am doing absolutely nothing. Approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes ago, when we did not arrive as scheduled, the station master will have surmised our situation and already dispatched a team to excavate the engine, clear our path, and send us on our way. Until then, you all remain warm and fed and comfortable.
I hold you accountable for my loss of time, Mr. Book.
Surely you cannot hold me accountable for the weather.
Of course I can. You're the one here.
Ja, some things are in God's hands. It's not up to us if we should arrive safely at our destination, or if, like Lucifer, we must fall.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Ratchet. Mr. Ratchet, could you open the door, please? Hello?
Is everything all right?
He isn't answering.
Mr. Ratchet?
Hey, do you have a bus key?
Of course.
I hope he's not being ill.
There's a chain.
Hello? You must close the door.
But it will break, you need repairing.
Do not really have to move from the bottom of the room. You must force the door.
I don't know this at all.
Mr. Ratchet!
I can't move.
Is his chest?
It is horrible.
I cannot believe it.
No, do not touch it.
It is human life. It is wrong.
Calm down.
Princess, take Miss Smith to her room, please.
Come along, Hildegard.
Man, murdered. God rest his soul.
I think I will return to my compartment as well.
How? It is incredible for such a thing to happen. What are you doing?
I'm examining the wounds. There appear to be 10 stab wounds to the chest. Monsieur McQueen, when was the last time you saw him?
Me? I don't know anything. He was fine last night when I put out his coffee.
You were his secretary. What did you know about him?
Not very much. He never spoke about himself. Frankly, I think he was hiding something, but that's just an impression.
And what made you think that?
I think he was fleeing from America to get away from something. And I think he managed it until a few weeks ago.
And then?
He began to get some threatening letters. They're in my room. Do you want to see them?
Yes, please, go quickly.
Sure thing.
Ask the Countess to accompany me here.
I'll see you later.
It is incredible for such a thing to happen on my train. Oh, it is freezing in here.
You have observed the window?
Yes, it is open.
And what do you see outside?
Nothing.
Exactly, nothing. Which means that the killer could not have gone in or out through the window.
Then why is it open?
I assume to mislead the police when they arrive.
The police?
Of course the police. It is murder.
Oh, no. We aren't with the police. I want you to solve the matter, and I want you to tell them who did it.
I have already interfered too much.
But my company's at stake.
Oh, but mon ami.
Just think what a police inquiry could do to my company. People would say, I cannot travel on the Orient Express. I could be murdered in my bed. And our sales would suffer. I could lose my clients.
But I'm doing 103 days.
Then solve it too. You're a magician. I've seen you work. You look, you pester. You make yourself a pain in the backside. Then poof, the case is solved like that.
The police would be very angry with me.
The Yugoslavian police department, they're like the Three Stooges at the movie house. They poke each other in the eyes. They'd be happy not to have to do any work. And in fact, if you save them the trouble, they might even put a statue of you up in Zagreb.
I will need a plan of the entire coach.
Done.
And the passports and tickets of each of the passengers.
Done.
Excuse me, but you have asked to see me? Oh, heavens!
Forgive me, Countess, but I know you were trained as a physician, so I thought you would help.
I am happy to help.
I'm afraid it is not a very pleasant sight.
I have seen worse. Believe me, I volunteered in the war.
The left side of his face seems to be slightly red.
Yes, it has been slapped.
How do you know?
Because I slapped it. I count 10 separate wounds.
That was my count as well. Can you estimate the time of death?
I would say it is between 8 and 10 hours ago, which puts the time of death between midnight and 2 o'clock.
I am in accord.
It appears that the killer was wild, in a frenzy of some sort.
I observed that 3 of the stab wounds are mere scratches, while the other strong blows. And they come from different directions. Do you have a pen?
Of course. Here.
That will have to do. Now, watch carefully. As we place the pencil inside each of your wound and push it gently.
Oh, is that necessary?
Perhaps the man changed hands during the stabbing.
Or there were 2 assailants. One left-handed and one right-handed.
One strong, one weak.
That is a possibility, but we now must ask ourselves this. What did Monsieur Ratchet not fight back when he had a gun under the pillow?
Oh la la!
May I see it?
Of course.
How did you find it?
He showed it to me yesterday, so I knew it had to be here somewhere.
It It is a revolver, and I do believe it is loaded. Don't worry, there's a safety switch. It is not on.
Un moment. I have a very good nose. Goss! Smell the cup of coffee.
It smells of almonds. He was really drugged, which is why he did not fight back.
Now, let us check if there is anything in the buckets. What's that?
It is a watch. And the face is smashed.
It is not 1:15.
Aha! At last, the time of death! The Countess said the time of death was between midnight and 2, and the watch is 1:15. It couldn't be any clearer. 1:15 is the time of death.
It is possible.
What do you mean it is possible? What is wrong with it?
It's because I do not yet know. Do you not see how many clues are around this room? Look, here on the floor. A match. A pipe cleaner. And a pipe cleaner of a different size. There are dozens of clues in this room, and they all make me unhappy.
Look at this, under the bed.
It is a lady's handkerchief with a letter H on it.
Who is H, eh? As in, Hamlet?
That is the question. Let's see, there is Mrs. Hubbard, and I believe her first name is Helen.
And what about the princess?
Her name is Natalia Dragomirov. Then there's Hildegard Schmidt, the Count and Countess, Mary Debenham, Greta Olsen, James Arbuthnot, and Hector McQueen. And I'm Constantine, who... No! Such a thing has never happened in the history of my company, and I want you to stop it immediately.
You are clearly upset, Mother.
I am very upset.
I assure you everything will be just fine.
I hope so. Oh, I need spare.
Oh, you go do that.
Just look at this ashtray. My people are lying down on the job.
No. This right here. A piece of paper, possibly burned to hide its contents. There's something written on it. What I need right now is a hat box. Countess, do you have one?
Of course I do.
Merci. I greatly admire that woman, mon ami. Did you see her? I asked her for a hat box. She gives me a hat box. I asked her to help me with the body when she rolls up her sleeves. Truly admire her. What I need right now is my spirit lamp that they use to heat up my wax for my mustache.
Why do you need a spirit lamp?
Because right now I'm using the power of science to help me. Usually I would use the psychology of the killer, but not in this case.
Why not?
Because I do not yet know. Take, for example, the handkerchief. Did a woman place it there, or did a man put it there to say, oh, I can look like a woman's crime? The same thing with the pipe cleaner, eh? Oh, I can look like a man did it. And that does not include the windows, the copies, the gun. All these clues, and they make me unhappy.
Your hat box, mister.
I see, madame. Now, we must regard the flame while we can, as I believe it will help us. It will help us review the contents of what was left behind, but only briefly. So we must regard it when we can. you see it?
Remember little Daisy Armstrong?
What does it mean?
There was a case in America 3 years ago. 4. A little girl was murdered. It was in all the papers.
I do not remember.
It was a case most horrible.
Horrible.
A little girl was kidnapped from her home in Long Island, New York. The ransom was set at $200,000, and it was paid.
But little Daisy was never returned to her parents.
3 days later, they found the little girl, dead, murdered in the woods, not far from her home. They caught the man who did it, but he had ties to organized crime, and they got away, changing the evidence. He would have been hanged if he had been caught by the public. But they gave him the slip, and he got away.
What does this have to do with Ratchet?
We can make this yes. No?
Of course.
Monsieur McQueen said that Ratchet was fleeing from something from America until the letters began arriving.
And you think...
And Samuel Ratchet's real name is Bruno Cassetti. The man who murdered little Daisy Armstrong.
It can't be.
Excuse me, Mr. Pro. I found letters.
Merci. Now, let us hurry. Monsieur Book, please gather me the Princess, Miss Schmidt, Monsieur McQueen, then Mrs. Hubbard. Now retreat before the trial is cold! There was a murder, then there was a murderer, and that murderer is with us, on this train, right now.
Monsieur Poirot, we are here at my sense of duty. I do not like having my day disturbed.
You must forgive me. Let us begin. Princess, in your passport it says that you are Russian.
That is correct. I have been in exile since the Bolshevik dogs took over.
And your first name is?
Natalia.
And is this your handkerchief, madame?
Of course not. It has the letter H on it. My initials are ND, Natalia Dragomiro.
Is it yours, mademoiselle?
Oh, no. I cannot afford such a beautiful thing as this. And if I did, the princess would surely take it away from me.
Where were you two last night between midnight and 2 o'clock?
I could not sleep, so we read a book together in my room, aloud. It is the best way to get to sleep when you are feeling anxious.
What were you anxious about, madame?
The Bolsheviks.
And what book were you reading?
A Tale of Two Cities. It is very comforting.
That it is. What were you doing around the same time, Miss Schmidt?
I was in my room with the princess, just as she said.
Have either of you ever been to America?
Yeah, many times.
I have. Someone has to cook for her. The thing is, I am afraid to travel, but this trip has been quite nice, except for the murder and all.
One last question for the Butterby ladies. Do you know the man who was killed last night?
His name is Ratchet.
No, my dear. His name was Bruno Cassetti. And what I pray is that his soul burns for all eternity.
Princess!
He murdered a little girl named Daisy Armstrong. Her grandmother is my dearest friend. You would know her as the actress Linda Auden.
She was very great.
Not was, monsieur. She is very great. And she will remain the greatest actress of the American stage. And when her 7-year-old granddaughter was murdered by that monster Cassetti, it took her years to come up. Indeed, she's not yet recovered.
There were 4 who died in the tragedy?
Yes. 5, Monsieur. 5 people died. First little Daisy. Then her mother, who was pregnant, died in childbirth. And the little girl's father couldn't handle what happened. It ended his life. The house made a spell. 5 human souls were extinguished. So forgive me, Hildegard, if I take the view that there is no forgiveness in a case of this, and that Bruno Cassetti should be flogged to death and his remains cut up and thrown into a rubbish heap. Wait, come back!
I'm so sorry.
Monsieur McQueen, please sit down at the table.
Of course. Are they going to be all right?
I believe they will be fine. Now, tell me, what did you do as his secretary?
Well, I wrote his letters, did his errands, stuff like that.
And you knew him only as Ratchet?
Yeah, how else would I know?
His real name was Bruno Cassetti, monsieur.
No. You sure of that?
Then you know of the Armstrong case.
You bet I do. My father was the district attorney for the state of New York. He brought the case against them. Piece of filth. I'm sorry. You have no idea what he did to that family. They were so kind to me.
Can you tell us who is on the Armstrong household?
Mrs. Armstrong had a sister. She went to graduate school, but after the tragedy, she moved to Europe, and I think she got married. Her name was Helen. Also, Mrs. Armstrong's mother would come to visit. She was an actress.
Anyone else?
Well, there was a governess, baby nurse, and a cook. And then poor Suzanne. She was a French housemaid. She came from Paris. My father's office thought that she might be implicated. She was so distraught from the accusations. She killed herself. Only it turns out she was innocent. My father was devastated. He never recovered.
I'm sorry. Where were you last night between midnight and 2?
12 to 2? I was on the observation deck with Colonel Unraveling.
Did you see anyone you did not recognize?
No, I saw Michel, the conductor, the other conductor, Colonel Unraveling, his debonair.
The other conductor?
There's a second conductor?
Yeah, I guess so. Saw him.
He was in uniform?
Yeah, the same one Michel wears.
What did he look like?
I don't know, he had his hat pulled down. He was small though, you know what I mean? Sort of feminine.
Did you speak with him?
I said hello, but he just kept walking.
You've been a great help. Ask Michel to come with me here.
Of course. I'll see you later.
I see.
Aha! I knew we would get a breakthrough. Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth. There was a man in uniform inside her compartment last night. And the question is, where did he go?
No, mon ami. The question is now, is if such a man exists, he could be a fabrication of Monsieur McQueen.
Why would he lie? He's not the murderer. It is a crime of passion by someone Italian or Hungarian, a man with blood in his veins.
I do not think so. Besides, take a look at this. The signature page. The first name is a grace spot. Right there, in front of it. I believe this is telling.
Who is it?
Knock, knock. Excuse me, but I need to talk to you.
If you could wait your turn.
No, I cannot. Wait my turn. Because you owe me an apology.
I do.
You thought I was crazy.
Pardon, madam, but I I do not know to what you are referring.
To what I'm referring to this man in our room last night. You didn't believe me. But guess what? I have a surprise for you. There was a man, and I can prove it. Look, he left the button.
It says Orient.
Yes, it sure as heck does. And it's just like the one Michelle wears on his uniform.
And you found it?
On the floor this morning, right as you please. Right next to my big toe when I popped my tootsie down on the ground when I woke up.
And you waited until now to tell us?
I just woke up. It's called a vacation. And I just heard about Ratchet's murder, and I thought that maybe this button guy did it. You see, it odds up. He goes into Ratchet's room, kills him, comes out through my room. It's like 1:15. I wake up and see him, and well, I don't exactly wake up and see him. I sort of feel his presence. And do you realize he could have strangled me in my bed or shot me or something?
Mrs. Hubbard, the man who was murdered last night was Bruno Cassette. Does that name mean anything to you, madame?
No.
Do you know of the Armstrong case?
You mean the poor kid who was murdered? It's national news, everyone knew about it. So what?
Where were you last night between midnight and 2, madame?
Great. So now I'm the suspect. You know, we really should read some detective stories and get some tips.
Midnight to 2, madame.
I just told you, I was alone, in bed, around 1 o'clock, and a few minutes later some guy comes in and scares me to death.
Mrs. Hubbard, sign your name on the piece of paper.
I beg your pardon?
Your signature. I would like to see your handwriting.
I always thought the French were screwy.
He is Belgian.
Exactly.
Interruption, but I'm looking for Miss Debenham.
She's not here, Colonel.
Did you try her room?
Yes, I looked everywhere I could think of, and she's gone.
Did you try the carriages at the back of the train?
Yes, I had Michelle open up all the doors, and she wasn't in any of them.
Well, she cannot be far, mister. It is a very small train.
You don't understand what I'm saying, monsieur. There was a murder on this train last night, and that has certain implications, does it not? Oh no.
What happened? Please, go! No! I couldn't tell.
What's happening?
Miss Debenham! Oh, not again!
Bill, what's happening?
I don't know.
Can you not get the
Oh,
government
get
down?
out!
What's happening? She's not in here! So I'm at your school!
Make that the keys!
Push! Hurry! Open the door!
So that you too may learn to hit that jive, let me give you a simple explanation of jitterbug fundamentals. Boy's right hand is sometimes placed here, which of course is why we place the mark here. Simple.
still alive.
Oh, Mary,
What happened?
you were shot for heaven's sake.
I need my medical bag.
I'll get it.
No, I will get it.
Count! Please, I'd rather have you accompany Michelle and search the coach.
Compartment 12.
Oui, monsieur.
I'll go with.
Me too.
Wait, Michelle! Do you have a gun?
There's one in the porter's box for emergencies.
Well, take it with you. This is not a game, mon ami.
Oui, monsieur.
Come quickly. Let us catch him before there's any more harm.
You said that right? I think so.
That is a great deal of blood. I do not like blood.
Nobody likes blood. Here's the cat.
Thank you.
Now, is it on your arm?
Yes.
You've not been hurt elsewhere.
No.
Not to be alarmed, Miss Devlin. I'm really cutting this river for Valentine Devlin.
Oh, I cannot watch.
Now, this may hurt a bit. Is, how do you say in English? Drug?
I believe it is called iodine.
Iodine?
Be careful, will you?
You're very lucky, Miss Devlin. 2 inches to the left and it would have been fatal.
Well, thank goodness for small blessings.
Countess, may I ask a question?
Are you Bonema?
Yes. Well, it is very simple, madame. Who shot you?
Well, I only caught a glimpse of him and he was...
He was what?
Tell us.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. He was in a sort of uniform. But I may have imagined it and...
Tell us what happened.
Well, I woke up this morning feeling a bit disoriented, as though I'd been drugged or something. I had a splitting headache, so I looked in my suitcase for some aspirin, and I didn't have any, and I must have stumbled into the hallway, and I saw that Mrs. Hubbard's door was ajar, and I called for her, and she didn't answer. I know I shouldn't have, but I went in her room. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
Go on.
Well, my head was splitting open by the time, and I wasn't thinking straight, and I looked in Mrs. Hubbard's makeup bag for some aspirin, and there was a knife. It was covered in blood.
A knife in my bag?
Yes.
Where did you last see it?
Well, I left it where it was. I felt so frightened.
Holy cow, I'll go get it.
No, Mrs. Hubbard. You will not go get it. I will retrieve it when I am ready. Now, please continue.
Well, may I just say that this does prove that there was a man in my room last night.
Mrs. Hubbard!
You talk too much.
Sorry.
Well, I was frightened when I saw the knife, and I must have backed into Mr. Ratchett's room. And then I turned and I saw the body on the bed with the blood and the wounds, and I screamed, and then I saw the man with the gun. And that's all I can remember.
It's all right.
Are you sure it was a man?
I assume it was. I suppose not sure.
He must have been hiding in the room, behind the door, waiting to escape.
So if I'd come in here any sooner, well, no more show tunes in the shower.
And that would have been a terrible loss.
I beg your pardon.
Mrs. Hubbard, where do you keep your makeup bag?
On the floor, underneath the bed.
And if these compartments were bigger, I wouldn't have to keep my makeup bag
On the floor, underneath the bed, like some drama school kid living out from a Rudolph Grimmel operetta. Living out of a...
I've never seen one like that.
I will be examining it for fingerprints. I would like you all to leave, but touch nothing as you go. When I am done, I would like to see Mrs. Olsen. Then Miss Davenham.
Now listen here.
If she is able, Colonel, then Mrs. Hubbard, Michelle, and the princess and Miss Schmidt again.
Me?
Countess, can you escort Miss Davenham?
Are you strong enough? I believe so.
I see no reason to put Miss Devenham through anything stressful at the moment, and I suggest you don't.
I'll keep that in mind, monsieur.
I hope you solve all this quickly, Monsieur. I am not afraid of dying, but I'd rather not speed up the process.
I intend to sue this company on the grounds of sheer anxiety.
Eh bien, madame, you are not the only one who is anxious about this case.
Zagreb, come in, please. We have an emergency. We are 20 miles away from the nearest city and we can't reach Belgrade. Zagreb, come in.
I love the cakes. Is there anything?
No.
Now, let us begin. Miss Olsen, you're a missionary, but you are a trained nurse, that is correct?
Yes, I practiced as a nurse. One day, Jesus came to visit me in my garden. He spoke with me, told me I must work hard for little babies in Africa. What can I say? I owed it to God.
You owed him a debt?
There were indulgent times in my life where I took more than I gave.
I see. Please, can you tell me an account of last night of where you were between midnight and 2 o'clock?
I was with Miss Debenham in our room. She's very nice. Then we talked quite a bit. She is a good listener. And then we went to sleep. I left only once to get an aspirin. Mrs. Hubbard offered me something earlier, but I declined. But when I couldn't sleep, I went to get it.
And what happened next with her?
I don't know if it is relevant or not, but there was an embarrassing moment when I went to see Mrs. Hubbard. First, I opened the wrong door. It was Mr. Ratchet's room. He was very alarmed. And then he pulled out his gun and told me to get out.
What time was this?
About 20 minutes to 11.
That is very interesting. As far as it is known, you're the last person to see Ratchet alive. If what you say is true, then Miss Debenham will confirm it.
But it is true. I would not lie. I would not lie.
Is it possible that Miss Debenham left your compartment without you knowing?
Nein, I sleep very lightly. The slightest sound I pulled upright. I was surprised once. Never again.
Miss Olsen, there are calluses on your knuckles.
I've worked in dangerous cities where I cannot be governed by fear. I trained to fight.
But you do not trust your guard anymore after your surprise?
No, in case he's busy. May I go?
Oui.
No one, I tell you. Not a single person is on this train who should not be here.
You're sure of it?
Entirely. It's gone too far. Our lives are in danger.
It is like a magic trick.
It is. I certainly self-searching. He may find something.
I do not expect so, mon ami.
Then where would he go? This man in uniform.
I do not yet know. That is the problem. Every time I find a new suspect, there is a new alibi that supports them. Colonel Arbuthnot, he could have a grudge against Cassetti over a business dealing, but Monsieur McQueen gives him an alibi from 12 to 2. They are on the observation deck. But what about Miss Schmidt, eh? She is strange. There is something not right about her. But she swears her and the princess are reading the night away, which also goes with what Mrs. Hubbard says. And now, Miss Debenham is shot, and I am out. Suspense.
Monsieur Poirot, I brought Miss Debenham as requested. Now what shall we start?
I only wish to ask her questions. Colonel, please, go.
I beg your pardon?
You are not needed for this. Please, go.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it, because I'm staying.
Well, I'm sorry because you are not.
Now listen here, you little Frenchman.
He is Belgian.
I don't care if he's a man on the moon. I'm not leaving her.
Honestly, James, it's all right. I'm sure it won't take long.
She is correct. I only need her for a mere 10 minutes.
Oh, I don't like it. Do you hear? Now put that in your mission pipe and smoke it.
That is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, shut up!
Miss Debenham, there is much pain.
It's rather sore, that's all.
Let us be grateful that it was not fatal.
Thank the Lord.
Now, Miss Debenham, at the hotel yesterday, I overheard you say to the colonel that you were terrified you would miss the train. Why was that?
I didn't want to be late, that's all.
But you said that you wanted to get it over with. Get it all behind you. Get what behind you? You seemed quite anxious.
I'm tremendously punctual. I'm afraid of reading into it.
I'm sorry. Sometimes, due to my profession, I am, how you say, imaginative. And I take you and the colonel very close?
We only met a couple days ago, and I suppose you ever hit it off?
You do know that the man who died last night was Bruno Cassetti?
I heard.
And are you aware of the Armstrong case?
Oh, not so much, I'm afraid. I've never been to the States.
What is it that brought you to Istanbul?
I lived here about a year. I'm a governess.
And where were you last night between midnight and 2, mademoiselle?
I was in my room with Miss Boston, and we chatted until quite late. You see, she talks a lot, especially when she's anxious, and I may have dozed off for a couple minutes.
Okay.
There I go.
May we? And please, sign your name on the paper.
Well, it's a good thing I'm left-handed, because I have a hard time signing with my right.
On behalf of the company, I brought some cakes and straight to your room.
Oh, thank you.
And if there's anything else you need, please, let me know. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Can you imagine if she had died? Thank goodness she's such a lovely woman.
She is more than lovely, mon ami. She is a complete liar.
Miss Debenham?
She claims that Turns and Colonel are not well acquainted when they are clearly on team. She claims that she was not afraid to get on the train. And now, even though she did.
But she was shot.
In the arm.
It could have killed her.
I wonder.
You do not suspect her of Cassetti's murder. She's cool and methodical. She would not stab a man to death. She'd seen him in court.
You're wrong if you think of this crime as sudden and passionate, mon ami. This is a long, hidden crime. I would stake my career on it. Look at this.
You're sleeping for blackness. So what?
There's a powder burn at the entry point.
Which means?
That the gun was close when the bullet fired.
The man was 2 feet away.
Pardon, monsieurs. We have finished the search.
And? Well, and?
Nothing. There's no sign of an intruder anywhere.
I can show you if you would like.
No, it is quite all right. Michel, can you remove your tunic, please? All your buttons are in place, and the thread that holds each one is worn, which means that they were not sewn on recently.
That is correct. May I ask?
Mrs. Abbott found this button in her room this morning.
It's not mine, monsieur.
But it matches yours. Exactly.
It does.
Michel, tell me, are there any other dependents on the train at the moment?
There's a ticket taker in the second class.
Is he large or small?
Fairly large. But, can ask him to see if you would like.
No, it is quite all right. Are there any other passengers besides the one in this coach of the train?
I don't count the years and not many, but mother and daughter in the double carriage.
And could there possibly be a second conductor with a uniform like yours?
No. Mr. Penny is
pregnant. But, however, I'm not sure I trust her word, but Miss Schmidt told me she saw a second conductor.
Miss Schmidt?
Oui, she told me this morning.
She did not tell us this morning.
I'm not sure I trust her word either, but the princess tells me the same thing.
Prince. Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la!
What is it?
This is just the kind of clue I've been waiting for. Michelle, come with me. Don't stay right here.
Where are you going?
You will see in a moment. Madame, please stay here.
I thought you wanted to question me.
I do, just stay here.
Well, that was exciting. As if we needed any more excitement around here. Now listen, I want my passport back.
What if there was another shooting and we had to make a run for it? Can you imagine me wandering through Yugoslavia without a passport? They'd shoot me on sight and ask questions later. Who are you?
Well, I'm Mrs. Helen Hubbard
From the Minneapolis Golf Racket Plan!
No more mahjong.
You've been extremely patient, madame. We are all thankful. If there's anything else you need, please let me know.
You know, you remind me of one of my husbands.
Which one?
The next one.
No, please put it back in his mind suitcase. You may not take it. He must have a reason.
Oh, I assure you, I have a very good reason.
Please stop.
What's your quarrel? Miss Schmidt, you must permit me to take a look at your suitcase.
But they are my private seats and have my undergarments.
I assure you, we will not look at anything private. Now, I know exactly what to do. Princess, would you be so kind as to assist me? Now, Miss Schmidt, Michelle tells me this morning you saw a second conductor. That is correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw him as well.
Perfect. It seems like virtually everyone on this train has seen the second conductor, besides myself and Monsieur. So that begs the question, where is he now? Is he still on the train? If he's still in the uniform, then he would be easy to spot, n'est-ce pas? Which leads me to believe that the uniform is hidden among luggage of the passengers.
But why choose me? There are other suitcases. Try the other ones first.
Princess, would you be so kind as to raise the lid and tell us what you see inside?
It is a uniform.
I have never seen it. I have heard no one. I am not a murderer.
No, mademoiselle. You did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong.
That is right. What's the book? Check the buttons.
There was one missing.
And there you have it.
Look at this. It's a passkey for the doors on the train.
And that would explain how we got it.
Now, mademoiselle. Just tell me, when was the last time you saw your luggage?
It was yesterday, just after we boarded.
Okay, so then someone could have put it in there when you left the room.
I have no idea. I have never seen it before.
Monsieur Poirot, I see no reason to be bullied or Miss Schmidt in this manner. She's simply not up to it like the rest of us.
You must forgive me. I am sorry. Now, would you escort Miss Schmidt to her room? And take Mrs. Hubbard with you. I need to speak with the Count and Countess alone, if you do not mind.
Well, of course we mind. Every time things get juicy, you just throw us out again.
Ugh! Would you please stop gossip mongering?
Me? You have your mouth open so wide. I can count your teeth.
Well, what a pleasure you know how to count, bird brain.
Well, then if I'm a bird brain, you're a communist.
I am not a communist. I am an exile.
Yeah, from your husband, boy, that could wait to get rid of you.
And who's the one with all the divorces?
My husbands were unfaithful.
And this surprises you?
Ladies! We're all a little worked up at the moment. Please, this way.
You seem troubled.
I'm getting more and more concerned.
That another crime shall occur?
No. But I will solve this one. Countess, What is your maiden name?
Goldenberg, as you can see in the passport.
Yes, but now you use Andreni.
Yes, it is my husband's name.
Count and Countess Andreni. A nice ring to it. And your first name is Elena?
That is correct.
Is she a suspect?
I only ask questions, monsieur. It is my job.
I thought we were friends.
It is my greatest wish, but please indulge me. When I examined your passport this morning, I saw a grease spot at the beginning of your name, Elena. Now, I believe this grease spot could be used to hide the contents of a single letter, such as H. If you add the H to the name, it suddenly becomes Helena, which is used by Shakespeare in A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
That is true.
It is a kind of name an actress might use for her daughter.
I suppose.
An actress such as Linda Alden, the grandmother of Daisy Armstrong.
If you say so.
The name Arden itself is a stage name, surely. It is used by... It was Shakespeare's mother's maiden name, if I am correct. And it was used for his forest in a play entitled...
As you like it.
You know your Shakespeare well for a Hungarian.
Yes. I have studied Shakespeare since I was a child.
Oh, I know. I believe your mother, Linda Alden, taught it to you, which would make you Helena Goldenberg, the aunt to Daisy Armstrong.
I do not know this woman, but I would imagine that she still suffers from the loss of her niece and her sister.
Please, leave her alone!
And after the tragedy, she moves to Europe and marries the ballroom dancer, Count Andreni.
Are you satisfied?
I am always satisfied, monsieur, when I uncover a liar.
I heard there was a piece of evidence found. A handkerchief embroidered with the H on it. And I didn't want her H involved. So he changed it, luggage and the passport. But the last time I checked, it's no crime to want to be distant from trouble.
Yet! Here is trouble.
I love my wife. I'd do anything for her. Anything.
My dear, there's no use in denying me. He can see right through us.
When the train gets going underway again, and we reach the next city, all he has to do is send a simple telegram.
And it will all be over.
But I didn't kill him! You know, I killed him, but I didn't. I didn't even know who he was until you discovered it. And then I realized that if you knew who I was, you would think that I killed him. Because he was a blackmailer and a swine, a murderer. A murderer. That darling, sweet, innocent girl who deserved to live.
Madame, really.
It's the truth! I swear to you, it is the truth. But I'll tell you this. If I had known who he was Ferguson. The man who murdered 2 people I love most in this world. I would have pushed that dagger into his chest myself. And believe me, no other means would have been necessary.
Zagreb, this is Constantine Luke of the Orient Express. Do you read me?
We are hearing you, Monsieur Luke, you are loud and clear.
We're still stuck in the snowdrift in Polinsky Pass. Where are you?
We are being delayed, Monsieur, but should reach you presently. All conditions.
We're losing heat and light, provisions are low, and the passengers are getting angry. And we have a dead man wanting a compartment too. How are things with you? Take the table off and set up the rest of the chest. We're expecting everyone soon.
Well, I'd like to know what is going on.
He wrote me a notice of the meter kit.
He wrote these the same thing.
I find this ridiculous.
So where's that little Frenchman hiding? Is he being mysterious now? He sent me a note from these weeks ago. We received one also.
Well, he's obviously up to something, the little weasel.
Missy. Pardon. I've kept you all waiting. And I must apologize. I had to get my ducks in a row.
Ducks? What ducks?
It's an expression, Schmidt. You drive me crazy.
Please, all of you, sit down. I have an announcement to make. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you today to reveal the murderer, Monsieur Samuel Ratchet, also known as Bruno Cassetti.
You believe it?
You know who did it?
I believe I do. But I must question the final attendant of this train, who is yet to answer my questions. Oh, by the way, have any of you seen my cane? Is it behind me? Colonel, please stand.
Me?
James?
Do you have a problem answering my questions, monsieur?
No, of course not.
Good. Let us begin. In your time fighting for your country, did you ever meet a man named Charles Armstrong?
No.
Have you heard of him?
Yes, we served in the same theater of action, but we never met.
Do you know of the Daisy Armstrong case?
Yes, she was murdered by some brute who was out for money.
Did you know that Charles was Daisy's father?
No.
Or that he took his own life after the tragedy?
I'm sorry to hear it.
Colonel, at the hotel yesterday, you said that you wanted to get married out of Aussies. What did you mean by that?
I have no idea.
And then she said that you should get something behind you. What did you mean by that?
I can't imagine.
Are you aware that you are obstructing justice, monsieur?
I'm aware of no such thing.
Miss Debenham, what did you mean?
I already told you I wanted to get the trip behind us.
I believe that you are lying.
Now listen here.
I'm not yet done talking, Colonel. Now what did you mean at the hotel? You wanted to get her out of what? You wanted to get what? Behind her.
I'm married, all right? I'm in the process of getting a divorce, which I deserve because my wife is seeing another man. But I lose my case in court if it's known that I'm seeing another woman socially. When the divorce is behind us, we can stop hiding, which is why we've been trying to keep things private. No thanks to you.
I'm afraid you're doing a very poor job of it.
Well, some of us have emotions, Poirot. I'm sure you'd sacrifice your own mother in light of one of your stupid solutions, and I don't think you know what the heck you're doing.
I know exactly what I am doing, Colonel. I'm investigating the case of Monsieur Samuel Ratchet.
Well, he deserved to die!
So you knew who Bruno Cassetti was?
Well, of course I did. They told me!
But you did not know before they told you? And you did not serve with Charles Armstrong at the time it was allied with the Indian Army at the northern frontier? You did not swear friendship and fidelity to him during your time of trial by fire together. And now you do not give him the respect he deserves after he took his own life.
Stop! Everyone stop!
You have been telling me lies, n'est-ce pas? You've been telling me lie after lie after lie. But to make no mistake, I know you killed him, and I know precisely how it was accomplished.
We're listening.
The facts of the case could not be more simple. At approximately 5 p.m. last evening, the train left Istanbul with planned stops in between on its way to Calais. At approximately 12:30 last night, the train fell into a snowdrift and was forced to stop. And at 10 a.m. this morning, Bruno Cassetti found dead in his compartment with 10 stab wounds to the chest. These are facts. C'est tout, c'est fait. Now, with these facts in mind, they present two possible solutions to the case. Under solution 1. An enemy of Cassetti boarded the train yesterday with a wagonette uniform, and using the accompanying passkey, he was able to slip into his compartment and killed him. And was able to escape from the door leading to Mrs. Hubbard's compartment.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Here, here.
Well, we solved the same case.
No, it doesn't work. Why hide the uniform? Who drugs Ratchet or shoots Miss Sterling? Come on, man.
He's not finished yet. Have you, monsieur?
No, I'm not, princess. Because there are two specific events that made the first solution impossible. The first event was the snow that forced the train to stop. It meant that the killer had a very big problem ahead of him. Where could he go? He could not escape at the next station because there was no next station. So unless the killer could fly, he must have killed this train. He must be one of you.
You said there were two unexpected events? We just can't wait to hear the next one.
The second event was the fragment of a letter that said, "Remember Daisy Armstrong," which meant that this was no random enemy of Cassetti. No. It was someone who wanted to avenge the death of a small, innocent child. So with these facts in mind, the second solution began to take root, and little by little, it has blossomed in all its terrible ruthlessness. The first clue to the second solution came to me within an hour of my arrival at Istanbul, where I learned that there was not a single ticket left on the first-class coach of the Orient Express.
It is my train, and it is never sold out at this time of year. That is ridiculous.
And it was ridiculous. Why was this train so suddenly full? But thanks to Monsieur Book, I had a voucher on the train, and suddenly I was put in front of an company of actors.
I look forward to hearing of your wonderful adventures.
You can say goodbye.
Nia, you tortured my darling Mommy.
I'm not buried, except to God Almighty lives in heaven.
Hungarian, French, Russian, Swedish. What were all these people doing on the same train? Something was amiss. It was like looking at a painting by Pablo Picasso. Over there is an eye under an ear on top of a mouth. Something was not normal. Consider the moment last night in Mrs. Hubbard's compartment.
Help! Somebody come quickly, help!
Mrs. Hubbard, what is it?
There was a man in my room. He ran off, I'm sure of it.
Which way did he go?
That way, just this second.
But madam, that is where I am coming from, and I saw no one.
How should I know?
Then came the murder itself. A businessman found in his compartment in a fit of almost unspeakable violence.
Do you see his chest?
It is horrible.
I cannot believe it.
Then it came time to inspect the wounds, but the Countess and I found not one, not two, but 10 stab wounds to the chest.
Perhaps the men changed hands during the stabbing.
Or there were 2 assailants. One left-handed and one right-handed.
One strong, one weak.
And then I was offered a feast of clues. The window, the coffee, the gun. But the clue of most importance was the broken watch.
It is not at 1:15.
Aha! At last the time of death!
But it was not the time that they told that was so important to me, but rather the place it was found. In his pajama pocket. Do you keep your watch in your pajamas? Do you? Or do you? Of course you do not. It would be uncomfortable. Which led me to conclude that the watch was deliberately placed inside his pocket so that I would think that the time of death was 1:15. A time when every single person on this train had an alibi. But rather, Ratchet did not die till after 2 o'clock, a time when no one had an alibi.
You know, I really don't think we need to be subjected to this kind of performance in front of all...
Sit down, Mrs. Roberts! The second clue of real importance was the handkerchief with the embroidered letter H, and I now return it to its rightful owner. Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
But my name begins with an N, monsieur.
But in Russian, in the Cyrillic alphabet, the letter N appears as the letter H in English.
Thank you, I must have dropped it.
And then comes the most puzzling occurrence of this entire case. As some of you may know, I was speaking with the Colonel and Mrs. Hubbard, and suddenly there was a scream and a gunshot.
Where did it come from?
I couldn't tell.
Mary!
Mr. William!
Ah, but this was no ordinary screaming gunshot, my friends. This was a scheme so elaborate and fantastic that for a moment, even I was confused. How could a man really graze someone in the arm, eh? Well, why would I find a powder burn at the entry point at which the bullet entered? Because she fired the bullet herself, then dropped the gun and fell to the floor.
Nonsense!
I have to be crazy.
Exactly! Crazy! That, or you so can't believe to a series of events that occurred. 4 people on this train were either friends or family of the Armstrongs. Do you not find this incredible?
My father brought the case against that piece of film.
Oh, that's my dearest friend.
He deserved to die!
She still suffers from the loss of her niece.
Monsieur McQueen's father was ruined after the tragedy and falsely accused a French maid that Cassette got away. Princess Natalia Dragomirov, godmother to Daisy Armstrong, Colonel Arbuthnot, friend to Colonel Armstrong, and Helena Goldenberg, the sister to Sonia Armstrong, who married a powerful young man who is no stranger to rage and violence. And if there were 5, could there be more? Could Miss Debenham not be young Daisy's governess at the time of the kidnapping?
I loved that girl. More than anything.
Hildegard Schmidt, the devoted maid with the chef's eye. Who could she be before her current employer? Might I suggest the Armstrong cook?
Yes, It was I.
Oh, but we are not yet done, my friends. Quaker Olsen, who knew found religious zeal born out as a guilt of having a charge to be abducted. It was you, was it not, in charge of Daisy's the night of the kidnapping? Did you have a glass of wine too many that night? And now you blame yourself for the kidnapping ever since!
She knew nothing but kindness and love. Till I
It struck me from the beginning that such a case could not be accomplished without someone on the inside. Let's say a conductor who could come and go as he pleased. And then I began to see that the accused maid was from France, just like Michel. And then I began to ask myself if this supposed maid was not Michel's sister who went to work in America. And that leaves one last passenger who is yet to be accounted for. Mrs. Hubbard, who attended the finest performance of the evening. It is not hard to see that she is an actress by profession. The grandmother of Daisy Armstrong, Linda Arden, who has put so many audiences to their feet over her distinguished career. I assume you masterminded the scheme from the beginning.
Is this true?
You're an awfully clever man. I always wanted to be a director.
A murder should have one victim. When wretched kills Daisy Armstrong, a dozen lives are broken. I demand justice! So of all these wounded souls, who among them is the killer? Who takes up the knife? The answer is not a single one of you could have done it. No, any pair. It could only have been done by all of you. Together. Together.
For Charles!
For my sister, you pig.
For Daisy! For that little girl! For my darling angel!
For my father.
For Daisy!
For Edna!
For my darling Daisy! For my grandchild! It was my plan. I recruited them. I have McQueen track down Cassetti. Send him to our plan. McQueen could arrange his travel on the day that Michelle was on duty. The rest of us got into position, played our characters, and avenged our Daisy.
And so, my friends, what am I to do? It will not be long until the Yugoslavian police arrive, in which case I must tell them the truth. N'est-ce pas?
The truth, of course. We knew about the second conductor. Everything else would be a complete injustice.
On the contrary, it is the only justice. If you disobey the law, you must abide by it. You must be punished.
But it was Cassetti who murdered the little girl.
And did they give you a right to kill him, Colonel?
Of course it did. He killed 5 people for some ransom money. He done it before and he'd do it again. Now it's time for you to turn around and let me!
No, it is not the time, Colonel! You do not understand. I have never turned my back on the law. If you do that, we become barbarians. It is 1934. Europe is changing. And there will be chaos. They will have to start again, and there will be none of us left. I cannot abide by this. cannot rest.
May a humble actress speak her piece.
Please do, Monsieur.
Monsieur Pro, we are in your hands and we acknowledge it. But would you really have preferred it if Bruno Cassetti had gotten away scot-free? Would that be the kind of justice you're after? Look at it this way. You have a complete solution staring you in the face. You have the button, you have the uniform, you have 3 reliable witnesses who saw me in the corridor. And surely you're not calling this all liars. Because if you did that, there would be months of trials. Lives would be damaged more than they have been already. And a great many people would be forced to relive the most terrible moment in all of their lives. More terrible than any human being should ever have to experience. Is that what you want? Examine your heart. And tell us what you want.
You put me to the test, madame, and I am greatly troubled.
No! You stupid man! No one should have to hate this than me. Tell the police it was me, alone. There is no life left in me anymore. But they have a chance. Helena, I pray, has a chance. They can go, live, find some joy somewhere. Let it end with me. They're not murderers. They're good people. They can be good again.
It was right. It was wrong. And now there is you. I cannot trust me.
No! No, this isn't right! You can't let them get away with this!
Mon ami, you can lie! I cannot! You will give the police first solution. I am done. May God go with you all, and may He give you the strength you need to move on with your lives.
Back on the tracks. Next stop, Orient.
There's something we need to discuss.
They're saved.
So grateful for you.
James, finally.
I told you we'd be all right. You know, Poirot, you turned out to be more.
Poirot? He's gone.
Gone where? Back to his room, most likely.
And your kids are alive. Is this justice?
Sometimes the thought, man, is not enough.
Where does conscience lie?
Very easy.
Did go to Africa and saved many lives for the first time, in fact. Arbuthnot and Debenham, they were married in a quiet ceremony at St. James Square. Monsieur McQueen returned to his business, Michel to his trains, and the princess left us from the great beyond. Miss Schmidt now travels in her stead. The Count and Countess killed. Monsieur Bouc and I have remained good friends, and I am told that Mrs. Hubbard now stars in a new musical entitled No, Nanette, where I am told she brings the audiences to their feet. I beg of you all to believe me when I say I wish these passengers well, and that I hope they prosper for the rest of their days. But on some nights, in the darkness, I ask myself again and again if what I did was right. If what I did was justice. And it is not until morning, when I am all alone, that I can close my eyes.
being our director, Rachel being our stage manager, she did amazing, managing the chaos, Joanna with the costumes, everything, she did everything, our meals, she took care of us, she keeps us going, and Miss Bostic was a new addition to our team this year, being our script manager, and she just kept all of us sane and made everything run smoothly. We really needed her. I don't want to go on too long, but these people are my favorite people on the planet, and they did an amazing job with this show, and they mean the world to all of us, and I speak on behalf of the entire cast, the crew, everyone. They're just really, really special, so if you could give them a very big